Commander Taewon Park felt cold metal against his face when he woke up. His head hurt, his mouth was dry. The last thing he remembered was his small ship flying near the new human colony on Proxima Centauri b. "The human is awake," said a voice. Taewon kept his eyes closed. He listened. 4 beings in the room. 1 by the door. 2 near some kind of control panel. 1 right next to him. He could tell by their breathing and the small sounds they made. "We know you are awake, human." "Open your eyes," said the voice, again. Taewon opened his eyes slowly. Bright blue light filled the room. He was in a cell. The walls were made of a clear, crystal-like material. He was lying on a simple metal bed with no sheets. His black combat suit was gone. He now wore simple gray clothes. A tall being stood in front of him. It looked almost human, but its skin had a slight blue color. Its eyes were too large. "I am Daeho Kim, Security Director of the Galactic Council ship Equanimity," the being said. "You are our prisoner." Taewon sat up slowly. His training kicked in. Assess the situation. Look for exits. Count enemies. Find weapons. He saw none. "Why? Am I here?" Taewon asked, his voice calm. Daeho smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. "You humans think you can just spread across the stars without consequences. The Galactic Council has watched your kind for centuries. We have rules. You broke them." A woman entered the room. She was fully human, or at least looked it. She had black hair cut short and wore a silver uniform with blue symbols on the shoulders. "I am Chief Diplomat Cora Moon," she said. "I will be handling your case." Taewon studied her. "You're human." "I was born human," Cora said. "I chose to join the Council 30 years ago. Humanity is not ready for the stars, Commander Park. You are too violent, too unpredictable." Taewon didn't respond. He was counting seconds in his head, mapping the room in his memory, watching how the door opened and closed. "Your ship entered restricted space," Cora continued. "You will be the first human to be tried by the Council. We will make an example of you." "I was on a scientific mission," Taewon said. One of the beings, by the control panel, made a sound like laughter. "Your ship had stealth technology and weapons, not very scientific." Cora stepped closer. "The Council includes 17 advanced species. All of them agreed to certain rules before expanding beyond their home systems. Humans never signed those rules because humans never knew we existed. Until now." Taewon stood up. Immediately, Daeho put his hand on a weapon at his belt. "I just want to stretch my legs," Taewon said. Daeho nodded but watched him closely. Taewon walked to the crystal wall and looked out. He saw a massive ship. It must have been at least 3 miles long. Small craft moved around it like bees around a hive. In the distance, he could see the blue-green planet of Proxima Centauri b, the first human colony outside the solar system. "Impressive, isn't it?" Cora said. "The Council has existed for 50,000 years. We have brought peace to this part of the galaxy." "By capturing explorers?" Taewon asked. "By stopping dangerous species from spreading too far, too fast," Cora replied. "Earth has had nuclear weapons for less than a century, and you've almost destroyed yourselves 3 times. We cannot allow such violence to spread to the stars." Taewon turned to face her. "So what happens now?" "You will be questioned. Then you will face trial. The Council will decide what to do with humanity." After they left, Taewon sat on the metal bed and closed his eyes. To anyone watching, he looked like a man accepting his fate. But inside his mind, he was working. His capture was no accident. 3 years ago, Earth's deep space sensors had detected unusual signals. Further investigation revealed the existence of the Galactic Council. Rather than announce this discovery to the world, Earth's leaders had kept it secret. They created a special program to prepare for first contact. Taewon was part of that program. One of Earth's best soldiers, he had volunteered for this mission. His capture was planned. Inside his body, nanites smaller than blood cells were already at work. These tiny machines had been injected into his bloodstream before the mission. They were collecting data on everything around him. The ship's technology, the aliens' biology, their language patterns. The nanites could even interface with the ship's systems when they got close enough. Taewon just needed to stay alive and get to the right places on the ship. 6 hours later, 2 guards came for him. They put metal cuffs on his wrists that seemed to float an inch above his skin without touching him. Time for questioning, one guard said. They led him through long hallways. Taewon memorized each turn, left, right, left, straight for 50 meters, then up a gravity lift. The ship was massive, with hundreds of different alien species moving about. Some looked almost human. Others were completely different. Floating clouds of gas, tall, insect-like beings, small furry creatures with too many eyes. Finally, they reached a small room with a single chair in the center. A human man waited there. He wore the same silver uniform as Korra, but with different symbols. "I am Inquisitor Jin-Ho Lee," the man said after the guards left. "I will ask questions. You will answer them." Taewon sat in the chair. Metal bands immediately wrapped around his arms and legs. Jin-Ho touched a panel on the wall. A blue field surrounded Taewon. "This is a neural truth field," Jin-Ho explained. "It will tell me if you lie." "Impressive technology," Taewon said calmly. "State your name, rank, and purpose," Jin-Ho demanded. "Commander Taewon Park, United Earth Naval Special Warfare Development Group. I was on a scientific survey mission." The field around him flickered amber. "Partial truth," Jin-Ho said with a small smile. "Try again." "Commander Taewon Park, United Earth Naval Special Warfare Development Group. I was gathering data on the Proxima Centauri system." The field stayed blue. "Better," Jin-Ho said. "Why were you in restricted space?" "I didn't know it was restricted. There are no markers or warnings." The field stayed blue. Jin-Ho frowned. "Why was your ship armed?" "Standard protocol for all deep space missions. Space is dangerous." Blue again. For 2 hours, Jin-Ho asked questions. Taewon answered carefully, revealing only what Earth was willing to share. The nanites in his body recorded everything, especially details about the truth field technology. Finally, Jin-Ho stood up. "We are done for today. Tomorrow we will use deeper methods." As the guards led him back to his cell, Taewon passed a major control room. He stumbled slightly, bumping into a wall terminal. The guards pulled him away quickly, but it was enough. Some of the nanites in his hand had transferred to the terminal. They would begin their work now, spreading through the ship's systems, gathering data, preparing for the next phase. Back in his cell, Taewon sat on the bed and waited. On Earth, they would be getting his first data transmission soon. Then the real mission would begin. He wasn't just any prisoner. He was Commander Taewon Park, call sign Reaper. And the Galactic Council had no idea what they had just brought onto their ship. 3 days passed in the crystal cell. Taewon followed a strict routine. He exercised in the morning, push-ups, sit-ups, and careful stretches that looked simple, but kept his muscles ready. The guards watched him with interest. They had never seen a human military prisoner before. Taewon ate the food they brought him without complaint. It tasted strange, but gave him energy. He slept only 4 hours each night, using the rest of the time to meditate. To the guards, he looked peaceful. Inside his mind, he was working with the nanites in his body, receiving data and sending commands. On the 4th day, 4 guards came for him. "Today is different," said the tallest guard. "The council wants more answers." They took him to a new room. This one was larger, with strange machines along the walls. In the center was a chair that looked more like a medical device than furniture. It had restraints for arms, legs, and head. Jin-Ho Lee waited there with 2 beings who looked like doctors. One had 6 fingers on each hand. The other had skin that shifted colors like an octopus. "Commander Park," Jin-Ho said. "Yesterday's questions were basic. Today, we dig deeper." Taewon sat in the chair without resisting. The restraints closed around him automatically. "This device connects directly to your mind," Jin-Ho explained. "It will show us your memories, your training, everything about Earth's military." Taewon knew this moment would come. The nanites in his body had prepared for it. They formed a protective network around his brain, ready to filter what the machine could see. "I'm required to inform you that this may cause discomfort," Jin Ho said without sympathy. The six-fingered doctor placed a metal crown on Taewan's head. Small needles extended from it, touching his scalp. Pain shot through Taewan's body. His muscles tightened. His back arched against the restraints. But he didn't scream. He had been trained to handle pain far worse than this. Images flashed on, a large screen in front of them. They saw Earth from space. They saw military bases. They saw Taiwan in training, running through jungle, swimming in dark water, shooting targets with perfect accuracy. "Impressive physical capabilities," said the color-changing doctor. "Higher than our models predicted for humans." Jin Ho stepped closer to the screen. "Show me his mission objectives." The images shifted. They showed Taiwan receiving orders, boarding his ship, launching into space. But the details were vague, filtered by the nanites. "Something's wrong," Jin Ho said. "The signal is unclear." The six-fingered doctor adjusted controls. "Human brains are different. I need to increase power." The pain doubled. Sweat covered Taiwan's face. Blood ran from his nose. Still, he didn't make a sound. More images appeared. A military base on Mars, training exercises near Jupiter. Earth's defense fleet, much larger than the Council had believed possible. "This can't be right," Jin Ho said. "Our intelligence said humans had only 50 ships. This shows hundreds." Taiwan's lips formed a small smile despite the pain. The nanites were feeding false information to the machine. Information Earth wanted the Council to see. The color-changing doctor noticed something on a small screen. "There's unusual activity in his blood." Scanning now. Alarms suddenly blared. Red lights flashed. "Nanites!" the doctor shouted. "His blood is full of nanites. Billions of them." Jin Ho stepped back. "Shut down the machine. Now!" But it was too late. The nanites had connected with the mind-reading device. They were already flowing into the ship's systems through the connection. The restraints on Taiwan's chair suddenly opened. The pain stopped. The alarms went silent. Jin Ho reached for a weapon at his belt, but Taiwan moved faster. In one smooth motion, he grabbed the metal crown from his head and threw it at Jin Ho, hitting him in the chest. Jin Ho fell backward, stunned. The two doctors tried to run, but Taiwan was already moving. He disabled them with quick, precise strikes. They dropped to the floor, unconscious but alive. Taiwan didn't kill them. That wasn't his mission. He picked up Jin Ho's weapon, a small device that looked like a silver pen. He had seen the guards use similar weapons. They fired energy that could stun or kill. The door slid open. Guards rushed in. Taiwan fired the weapon. Blue energy hit the first guard, who dropped immediately. Taiwan ducked behind the chair as return fire hit the wall. "Behind him, lock down the prisoner," someone shouted. Taiwan closed his eyes for a moment. He connected with the nanites now spread throughout the ship's systems. He sent one command: execute Phase 2. All lights in the room went out. Emergency lights came on, bathing everything in red. Then those went out too. Complete darkness fell. "What's happening?" a guard shouted. Taiwan could see perfectly in the dark. Another part of his training. Another reason he had been chosen for this mission. He moved through the darkness like a ghost. One by one, he disabled the guards. He took their weapons and communications devices. When the lights came back on 30 seconds later, all 6 guards lay on the floor. None were dead, but none would wake up soon. Taiwan walked to a computer terminal on the wall. He placed his hand on it. The nanites in his skin connected with the system. Data flowed both ways. The screen showed a map of the ship. It showed the fastest route to the command center. It showed where the heaviest security was located. And it showed something else. Something the Council had been keeping secret from him. There were other humans on board. Prisoners. 23 of them. Crews from missing Earth ships that the Council had captured over the past year. Taiwan's mission had just changed. He needed to free those prisoners. But first, he needed to get to the command center. He stepped into the hallway. Alarms were sounding throughout the ship. Voices shouted in different languages. The nanites had disrupted communications, life support, and security systems all at once. The massive ship was in chaos. Taiwan moved quickly down the hall. 2 security teams ran past an intersection without seeing him. The nanites were controlling the ship's internal sensors, making him invisible to their tracking systems. He reached a maintenance shaft and climbed inside. These shafts ran throughout the ship like veins in a body. The Council's security protocols didn't monitor them closely. Big mistake. As he crawled through the narrow space, Taiwan received a new data burst from the nanites. They had accessed the Council's secure files. They had found his complete profile. On the ship's bridge, alarms were sounding. Cora Moon and Daiho Kim stared at a screen in horror. It showed Taiwan's full military record. It showed his real mission. It showed his call sign. Reaper, Daiho whispered. His call sign is Reaper. Cora's face went pale. Check his record again. There must be a mistake. The screen showed Taiwan's history. 67 solo operations, all successful. 33 hostage rescues without a single hostage lost. The Titan incident where he had single-handedly prevented a terrorist attack on Saturn's largest colony. And one more thing. Taiwan Park wasn't just a soldier. He was Earth's most advanced human-machine hybrid. Half of his body had been replaced, with technology so advanced that it matched or exceeded the Council's best systems. We need to evacuate the ship, Cora said. Now. But it was already too late. The screen in front of them changed. It showed the maintenance shaft where Taiwan was crawling. Then it showed his face, looking directly at the camera. He smiled. Hello, Council, he said. We need to talk. On the bridge of the Equanimity, chaos ruled. Officers shouted orders that no one followed. Control panels flashed with warnings. Security teams reported that they couldn't find the escaped human. Lock down all decks, Daiho ordered. Use the backup communication system. A young officer tried to follow the order. Sir, backup systems are not responding. Something is blocking them. Cora Moon stared at the main screen. It still showed Taiwan's face. His calm smile made her angry and afraid at the same time. What do you want? She asked the image. First, I want you to stop hunting me, Taiwan replied. His voice came from every speaker on the bridge. Your security teams are just getting in my way. I don't want to hurt them. You've already attacked our people, Daiho said. I disabled them. No one is dead. Check if you don't believe me. Daiho looked at a junior officer who nodded confirmation. Second, Taiwan continued, I want you to prepare the High Chamber for a meeting. All 9 council members, 1 hour from now. Cora laughed without humor. You're in no position to make demands. I control your ship now, Taiwan said simply. Life support, engines, weapons, all mine. So yes, I am in a position to make demands. As if to prove his point, the lights on the bridge dimmed, then brightened again. 1 hour, Taiwan repeated. Then his image disappeared from the screen. Daiho turned to Cora. We need to evacuate the ship. There's no time, Cora said. He's blocking all shuttle launches. We have no choice but to meet with him. While we talk to him, our best security teams can find and disable him, Daiho suggested. Cora shook her head. Did you see his file? This man has evaded capture on 27 different worlds, some with technology more advanced than ours. We can't beat him with force. Then what do? We talk. We find out what he really wants. 1 hour later, the High Chamber was ready. The 9 council members appeared as holographic projections around a large circular table. Only Elder Su Min-yoon was physically present on the ship. Cora and Daiho stood near the main door with 20 armed guards. The door slid open. Taiwan walked in calmly. He wore his black combat suit again, which he had found in a storage room. He carried no visible weapons. Commander Park, Elder Su Min said. Or should I call you Reaper? Either is fine, Taiwan replied. He walked to the center of the room and looked at each council member in turn. Thank you for meeting with me. You didn't give us much choice. said another council member, a tall being with gray skin and 4 arms. True, Taewon admitted. But sometimes force is necessary to get people to listen. Elder Sumin leaned forward. We are listening now. What do you want? First, I want to know why the council has been attacking human outposts for the past 3 years. The council members looked at each other in surprise. We have done no such thing, Elder Sumin said. You destroyed our outpost on Europa, Taiwan said. You released a bioweapon on Mars that killed 17 scientists. You sabotaged 3 colony ships near Alpha Centauri. These are serious accusations, Korra said from the doorway. Do you have proof? Taewon touched his wrist. A holographic display appeared in the center of the room. It showed images of destroyed human facilities. It showed medical reports of the Mars deaths. It showed damaged colony ships. And here's the proof it was the council, Taewon said. The display changed to show recovered debris with council markings. It showed genetic material from the Mars bioweapon that matched known council species. It showed communication logs between council ships. The council members whispered to each other. Many looked genuinely surprised. I don't understand, Elder Sumin said. The council never authorized these actions. Perhaps not the full council, Taewon agreed, but someone within your organization did. A new image appeared on the display. It showed Daeho Kim meeting with unknown aliens on a small base hidden in an asteroid field. Daeho's face paled. All eyes turned to him. Daeho, Korra asked. What is this? Lies, Daeho said quickly. Human propaganda. The evidence is clear, Taewon said. Security Director Kim has been working with a faction that wants to stop human expansion. They believe humanity is too dangerous to join the galactic community. Is this true? Elder Sumin asked Daeho. Before Daeho could answer, he moved with surprising speed. He pulled out a weapon and fired at Taewon. Taewon didn't dodge. The energy blast hit him directly in the chest. But instead of falling, he simply stood there. The energy seemed to flow around him, absorbed by his combat suit. That won't work, Taewon said. Daeho turned to run, but the door behind him wouldn't open. The guards looked confused, unsure who to obey. Why Daeho? Korra asked. Why attack the humans? Because I've seen what they do, Daeho shouted. I've studied their history. Endless wars, destruction of their own planet, violence in their entertainment. They'll bring chaos to the galaxy if we let them spread. So you decided to provoke them instead? Elder Sumin asked. To make them look like aggressors? It was working, Daeho insisted, until this one was captured. He pointed at Taewon. Do you know what his kind can do? What they're planning? Why don't you tell us what you think we're planning? Taewon suggested. Your ships, your weapons, your biological enhancements. You're preparing for war. Taewon shook his head. We're preparing for survival, in a universe we know nothing about. Touched his wrist again. The holographic display changed to show Earth, beautiful and blue from space. Humans have made mistakes, Taewon said. We've fought wars, we've damaged our planet, but we've also created art, music, and literature. We've developed medicine that saves millions of lives. We value freedom and individual rights. He looked at each council member again. Yes, we prepared for war when we detected your presence, because we didn't know if you would come as friends or enemies. It seems we were right to prepare. Elder Sumin rose from her seat. Commander Park, on behalf of the council, I apologize for what has happened. Daeho's actions were not authorized. He will face justice. That's a start, Taewon said. But there's more. More? Asked Korra. The human prisoners on this ship. I want them released immediately. Elder Sumin looked confused. What prisoners? Taewon brought up new images on the display. They showed humans in cells similar to the one he had been kept in. These are crews from Earth ships that disappeared over the past year, Taewon explained. 23 people total, being held on level 7 of this ship. I was not informed of this, Elder Sumin said. She looked at Korra. Neither was I, Korra said. She looked angry now. Another of Daeho's secret operations, it seems, Taewon said. Daeho said nothing. His plan had failed. His secrets were exposed. Release the prisoners, Elder Su-min ordered. Already done, Taewon said. My nanites unlocked their cells 10 minutes ago. They're being guided to my ship as we speak. Your ship was destroyed when we captured you, Korra said. Taewon smiled. That's what you were meant to think. My real ship is docked on your lower hangar. It's been there for 2 days, cloaked by technology your sensors can't detect. The council members looked at each other with new concern. Human technology was more advanced than they had believed. There's one more thing you should know, Taewon said. Earth's defense fleet is surrounding this ship right now. They've been here since I was captured. As if on cue, the main screen in the chamber activated. It showed hundreds of human ships, appearing out of nowhere, dropping their cloaking shields all at once. We didn't come looking for war, Taewon said, but we came prepared for one. The council chamber was silent. On the main screen, hundreds of human ships surrounded the Equanimity. The ships were smaller than the massive council vessel, but there were many of them, too many to fight. This is Admiral Ji-eun Song of the United Earth Defense Fleet, said a woman's voice. Her face appeared on the screen next to the fleet. She had short black hair and wore a dark blue uniform with silver stars on the shoulders. I believe you're holding one of my officers. This is Elder Su-min Yoon of the Galactic Council, Su-min replied. There has been a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Admiral Song's voice was cold. You captured our ships. You attacked our colonies. You killed our people. That's not a misunderstanding. That's an act of war. The council did not authorize these actions, Elder Su-min said. The person responsible has been identified. She pointed at Daeho, who stood surrounded by guards. So you claim this was the work of one individual? Admiral Song asked. And his supporters, Elder Su-min admitted. But they do not speak for the council. Taewon stepped forward. Admiral, request permission to speak. Granted, Commander Park, Admiral Song replied. I believe most of the council genuinely didn't know about these attacks, Taewon said. My nanites have accessed their private communications. Only a small group was involved. The rest were kept in the dark. The Admiral's expression remained stern. That doesn't change what happened. No, it doesn't, Taewon agreed. But it means we have a chance for peace instead of war. The Admiral was silent for a moment. Then she nodded. Proceed, Commander. Taewon turned to face the council. Humanity doesn't want war. We've had enough of that in our own history, but we won't be bullied or contained. We have the right to explore space, to build colonies, to grow as a species. No one disputes that, Elder Su-min said, but there are rules in the galactic community. Rules we never agreed to because we never knew about them, Taewon pointed out. You watched us from the shadows. You judged us without knowing us. You decided we weren't ready without giving us a chance. Korra stepped forward. What do you propose, Commander? A new beginning, Taewon said. Open diplomatic relations between Earth and the Galactic Council. Fair treatment. No more secrets. And the fleet? Elder Su-min asked, looking at the screen. The fleet stays until our people are safely home, Admiral Song said firmly. One of the council members, a being with blue skin and 4 eyes, spoke up. How do we know humans won't become a threat? Your technology is more advanced than we believed possible. Your ships can hide from our sensors. Your soldiers have abilities we can't match. We developed those things because we had to, Taewon said. Because we detected your presence 3 years ago and didn't know if you were friendly or hostile. It seems we were right to prepare. Elder Su-min looked troubled. 3 years? Impossible. Our stealth technology is good, Taewon finished. For her, but not perfect. We detected energy signatures from your observation posts near Jupiter. After that, we started looking harder. And you prepared for war, said the Blue Council member. We prepared for survival, Admiral Song corrected. Just as you would have done. Taewon touched his wrist again. The holographic display changed to show images of Earth, cities, forests, oceans, children playing, artists creating, scientists working. This is humanity, Taewon said. Yes, we have a violent history. Yes, we've made mistakes. But we learn. We grow. We create beauty and knowledge. We value freedom and courage. He changed the display again. Now it showed human colonies. People working together to build new homes on distant worlds. This is our future, Taewon continued. Exploration, discovery, building new worlds. We don't want to conquer the galaxy. We want to be part of it. Elder Sumin studied the images. Then she looked at the other council members. One by one they nodded. Perhaps we judged too quickly, she admitted. But you must understand our caution. New species joining the galactic community can cause problems. Then help us, Taewon suggested. Share your knowledge, guide us, but as equals, not as subjects. That seems reasonable, Elder Sumin said. She looked at Admiral Song on the screen. What do you propose as our first step? Release all human prisoners, Admiral Song replied immediately. Return our ships, then we can begin formal diplomatic talks. Agreed, Elder Sumin said. She looked at the guards. Take Director Kim to the detention center. He will stand trial for his actions. As the guards led Daeho away, he shouted over his shoulder, You're making a mistake. Humans can't be trusted. No one responded. No one was listening to him anymore. Korra approached Taewon. I'm sorry for what happened to you, for what happened to all of you. You were doing what you thought was right, Taewon said, protecting the galaxy from a possible threat. I was wrong, Korra admitted. I left Earth because I thought humans were too violent, too selfish to join the galactic community. But I was judging all humans by their worst examples, not their best. That's a very human mistake to make, Taewon said with a small smile. 3 days later, Taewon stood in a large meeting hall on the Equanimity. The room had been prepared for the signing of the first treaty between Earth and the Galactic Council. Admiral Song led the human delegation. Elder Sumin led the council representatives. The Treaty of Proxima Centauri, as it would be known, established formal relations between humanity and the 17 species of the Galactic Council. It recognized Earth's right to explore space and build colonies. It set up protocols for communication, trade, and cultural exchange. Most importantly, it created a new position on the Council, Earth's representative. And it established the Reaper Doctrine, named after Taewon's call sign. The Reaper Doctrine states that new species must be approached openly and honestly, Elder Sumin explained as she prepared to sign the treaty. No more watching from shadows, no more judging without understanding. Each species must be given the chance to join the galactic community as equals. When the signing was complete, Admiral Song approached Taewon. Mission accomplished, Commander, she said, though not exactly as we planned. The best missions rarely go exactly as planned, Taewon replied. But the outcome is what matters. Earth's council position needs a representative, Admiral Song said. Someone who understands both worlds. Someone who has shown they can handle difficult situations. Taewon looked surprised. Me? I'm a soldier, not a diplomat. You negotiated peace when war seemed certain, Admiral Song said. That's diplomacy of the highest order. Taewon looked around the room. Humans and aliens talking together, learning about each other, the beginning of something new. I'll need a new call sign, he said finally. Reaper doesn't seem appropriate for a diplomat. Admiral Song smiled. I don't know. Sometimes old things need to be cut away for new things to grow. Isn't that what you told Korra? Taewon nodded. Yes, but I meant old ideas, old prejudices. Then keep the name, Admiral Song said, but give it a new meaning. As they walked toward the human delegation, Taewon thought about the journey ahead. Humanity taking its place among the stars. Not through conquest, but through understanding. Not through fear, but through respect. The Reaper had completed his mission. Now a new one was beginning.